welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again, Jason, Juggling Jay Ford. Good evening, Jay. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
I'm here. Bit rough, but I'm here.
Well, it's Thursday, so.
Long day. You know this is the longest day of the year? First day of summer?
First day of summer.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
The heat's on.
It was already on. All it done was confirmed and
officially here.
Yeah. Well, today we're going to be talking about Amir Dill and Majesty Wilson, who just returned from Russia, where they took part in the Friends for Football program. We're also going to be talking. I've done an interview with Erica Hawley, who was off to Brazil this week to compete this weekend, triathlete. And Dawn Fox has qualified 2 dressage horses for the CAC Games. 4 years ago, she qualified 1. This time around, she's qualified a 2nd horse, and she's done it on local soil. So we'll have an interview with Dawn, as well as the roundup of the weekend action of cricket that includes the Central County Final, where you stated it earlier, history will be made. And then, of course, next week, Tuesday, we'll see the fastest man in the world on island, back where he introduced himself to the world. But we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber.
Well, Jay, got a chance to sit down with 2 youngsters, Amir Dill and Majesty Wilson. You like that name, Majesty.
Perfect for media.
Yeah. Got a chance to sit down with both of them as they've returned from Russia, just to get an idea of what they went through over the days of a couple of weeks of events going on in Russia. So let's get the interview with Amir Dill and Majesty Wilson. All right, well, welcome. I'm here with 2 youngsters who have just returned from Russia, where they spent some time in the Friends for Football program. On my right is Majesty Wilson, and on my left is Amir Dill. I got it right?
Yes.
Got it right. All right. Well, first of all, I'll go with you, Amir. When you got selected to go to Russia, what were your thoughts? And when you got there, did it meet the expectations or what you thought it would be?
I thought it went exactly how I had planned.
What was your thoughts leading into it once you got selected? What were your thoughts? What did you think you was going to get yourself into?
I think I was going to get to meet other people from all over the world, be able to develop, become a better player.
Okay. And at the end of it, that's how you felt?
Yes.
What are some of the things you worked on with players over there that you haven't worked on here?
More communication.
Okay. Did you find the language a little challenging at times?
Not really.
No? Most of them spoke English?
Yes.
Or?
And I was able to understand.
Oh, okay. All right. And for you, Majesty, you were doing a lot of the interviewing. What was that experience like?
It was kind of nerve-wracking because I don't like being in front of camera, and I was chosen to go and talk and interview to the young coaches that came around. So that was kind of nerve-wracking for me. But overall, it was a good experience. I got to meet a lot of people, and I met some new friends that I'm happy about. Are you
a little more comfortable now being in front of the camera? Or you still have that?
I still have that nervousness.
As a youngster, and obviously you like doing what you were doing because you look really excited in doing it, what do you think you have to overcome?
Talking in front of the camera.
But can you stand up and talk in front of people? Or you find that challenging as well?
It's better than talking in front of the camera.
And why is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Now you got a chance to interview several people, and obviously, as you said, young coaches. But in the lead up to that, what were some of the things they were showing you or teaching you on what questions to ask? How just how you put things together? Did you get that guidance?
So when we talked to young coaches, they told us what to ask because they didn't understand English that well,
Right.
so they had questions already planned for us.
Okay.
But when they were having the tournament, my group, for like the journalists in our group, we had to go and ask like questions to VIP
Right.
before like a whole bunch of actual news and journalist people.
Right.
So it was kind of nerve-wracking because we had to figure out our own questions. There was always a translator or somebody,
Right.
and we had to squeeze in between people to try to like ask the questions. So yeah.
So when you have to come up with questions, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something in the game that you can relate to, or just general conversation?
In most of the questions we asked, it was about how do people think about the Friendship for Football program, and what does friendship or football mean to you?
Right. And speaking of the Friendship for Football program, what did you like about it?
Mainly the opening ceremony of the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
weren't too many people for you?
It was enough.
It was. Is that your first time in a stadium of that size, or?
No, I've been to a bigger one.
Okay, but I guess you're the envy of a lot of your friends because you've been to the highest level of football, and the only thing that would beat that would be the final.
Yes.
The opening and the closing are the two biggest things for football itself. So how lucky do you think you are? You got to go to the opening.
Very lucky.
Yeah. What was the atmosphere like in the stadium?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything really bad.
No. And while the home team, the host was playing, so.
Yeah.
And who were some of the people you got to interview? As far as not the youngsters, because we saw you doing those interviews, but outside of that, anybody in particular?
I don't remember the names.
Right.
But I remember the first name. His name was Alexander. What's his last name? But
Okay.
he was one of the people who came to our forum.
Okay.
And he gave out like medals and yeah.
Now, do you like classroom settings? Because were you in a classroom setting when you was learning stuff for journalism?
No, it was a tent we were in. Like, there was different places, but the most place we went to was a tent, and they had the people who were talking, so like us, how we go right now.
Right.
And they just had chairs in the back for us to ask questions, listen, and all that.
Oh, okay. So you get on British Airways. You guys on British, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Your thoughts as you're leaving your parents, that long trip over, what's going through your mind? You don't want to say that now, right? No? What about you, Miss?
Well, to me, it was kind of nerve-wracking because different country, and most people think about the country was like bad things, and like, so it's like, what's gonna happen because
Right.
you're expecting to be secure and all, but you don't know what's gonna happen inside the country.
Right. Yeah. Now, you got to play football, which is something I guess you really, really enjoy. But being around the World Cup, did you feel the atmosphere, even though you guys weren't all the time involved in that?
Yes.
Yeah, everywhere you went kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah?
Because I was always surrounded by something that had to deal with football.
Oh, okay. Like, describe a few things.
I was always around a football stadium. Or like if I was watching TV, it always had something to do with football.
Right.
All these stewards had something to do with football.
Right. Now, let me ask you this question because I saw a couple of clips, especially the ones where Majesty was doing the interviews, and I take it that that's where you guys trained a lot. But when you played, how did you like the surface in which you played on? Was it something different that you used to play on?
And it was similar to what I usually play on,
And where is that?
like down BFA or down BAA.
Right. Okay. Nice smooth surface.
Yes.
Yeah. But did they have artificial grass or did they have regular turf?
It was regular turf.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Now, if you got the opportunity to do it again, would you?
Yes.
But I'll ask you this question: what would change?
I want to be a young journalist. I want to be a young coach.
Okay. You want to skip that journalist part and be a coach? Or you
Yeah.
got the bug while you was there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the change?
I like being a journalist, but most things for us, we couldn't like go with them. We had like, so for like the last 5 days, like we usually went to camp 3 days a week. We went together and all that. But for the last 5 days, for the first half of the day, we didn't have nothing to do.
Right.
They were into everything. They were all
Training
in
or
it.
playing, right.
And we were just waiting inside the hotel, doing nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the life of a journalist. Sometimes it's you do nothing, but then when they're finished, you're doing all the work. So it kind of works in two ways. But do you feel now more confident in when you want to talk to your peers since you've been back, especially sitting around like in a setting, telling your friends about your experience? Did you feel more comfortable?
Well, yeah, it's comfortable, but when you try to talk about it, it's hard because you can't explain it to the extent where they'll know what you mean.
Right. Did you find that? No. What was that reunion like when you got back? You don't want to say that either. Come on, man. Were you excited
Yes.
to get back home?
Yes, because I'm seeing the people that I'm usually surrounded by.
Right.
And I missed all my family and friends.
Oh, okay. That's a good answer. What about you?
It was kind of nerve-wracking.
Coming back?
Yeah.
Because you figured out you had to explain your trip, or you just had to?
No, because I've come so close with the people I've met away. And came so casual being around them,
Right.
living around them, being in the same hotel. And when I came back, I didn't know what to expect because
Right.
I wasn't around them anymore.
Oh, okay. Are you still in touch with them?
Yes.
The way we can communicate nowadays is a daily thing, isn't it? Okay. Now, any thoughts of going on in general? I know you said you would, if you got the opportunity again, you'll switch to be a coach, but what are your early thoughts on journalism?
What do you mean by that?
Getting more into it.
So right now, I've decided to help start up a school newspaper for like the kids in our school.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now, and because
Similar to the newsletter that was coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that was daily?
That was daily, but for our school, we're gonna do at least monthly.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. And it would deal with old school activities?
school activities, outside of school activities.
Right.
Yeah,
What school do you attend?
work academy.
Okay. All right. That's a lot of work. You know that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of after school work. So, have you had a chance to talk to your peers about football life outside of Bermuda?
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of the things they're asking you, and what are some of the things you're telling them?
They was asking me what was the people like when you was away, how much competition there was.
Did you find it challenging?
A little bit, but not as much.
Now, what about time making and all that? Were you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Because some coaches can get on you and you don't make time. And
Yes.
do you like your bed?
Oh, yes.
So was it hard getting out of it, or you just said,
Not
you know what,
really.
I'm here to do
I'm
this?
used to waking up early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to say to you both, you represented Bermuda very well. Proud of you both. Continue your journey. We'll keep in touch with you, and hopefully you get another opportunity to visit the world in a different capacity. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Yes.
Cool.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber To register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber.
Well, Jay, two youngsters, bright futures for both of them in front of them. You give them encouragement. We just want to see our youngsters get what they deserve and they do well. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing what I do, because it gives them a platform. Because I'm pretty sure if something negative would have happened over in Russia, we wouldn't have heard the end of it. So we want to wish them both well, and we'll stay in touch with both of them.
I just want to say kudos to the folks who nominated these two and recognize what these two, because a lot of times we have kids with talent and they go unnoticed.
Yes, yeah.
So the opportunity flies by. They will recognize, they said this could be something for these guys, and you can see they thoroughly enjoy. And this could be a life, even though they're young, but this could be a life-changing ordeal, because what they've been exposed to, not just in another country, another language, another culture, and then something that they love to do.
Yes.
That's you can only think when they come back, all the things that are running through their mind. Which way do they go forward? So hopefully the people who have nominated and put these guys forward, they continue to do this with a lot of our youngsters. And once again, I want to just thank you for, just bringing some exposure to it, because once again, we hear so many bad stories about our young folk. And then when you hear these good stories, it's like, man, it's not all bad.
No. But it's more good than bad.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But once again, the bad will always be exposed.
Yes.
More than the good.
Yeah. Well, from these youngsters to another youngster, Erica Hawley will be competing in Brazil this weekend. She will be competing against a lot of the people that she will be up against if she gets selected for the CAC Games. She finished 19th or 18th in Mexico a few weeks ago. Confidence is building with her. I got a chance to meet her at the National Sports Center right after a training session. So let's get the interview with Erica Hawley just prior to her leaving for Brazil. Erica Hawley, I want to take you back to April, Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast, team event. What was those moments like for you?
The team was incredible. It was so cool to have three of their teammates to compete alongside, and I actually felt way more pressure. I mean, Dan, Flora's husband, gave us a bit of a pep talk the night before, and it was intense. I was like, oh my gosh, the pressure's on me, because I had to go first. But it was amazing. I mean, it was just to have Flora in the third leg, and she brought us back. It was kind of incredible. And then I mean, we were holding our own, which is kind of crazy considering we're so small, but we managed to get fifth, which I don't think any of us were really expecting. I mean, it just kind of played out really nicely.
Those moments of training with Flora, being around Tyler, both Tylers, what did you learn from them as far as, especially Tyler Butterfield and Flora, professionals and number one in the world is Flora Duffy?
Yeah, I mean, especially Tyler, because he was staying in the village, you could really see kind of how they approach it. And I mean, they were professionals about it. Like you said, Flora was there to win. There was no other question about it. I mean, each session was like executed the way a professional would. I mean, I wouldn't say they were doing anything like so different than the rest of us. I mean, we were all there to compete and race, but it was cool to kind of see how they approached their race, and it was something to follow. I mean, just the lead up and the morning of, kind of how in the zone they were was kind of in awe. I was in awe.
Did that reflect in your event in Mexico? Just that environment, just knowing what to expect, knowing how to prepare?
Yeah, I mean, if I just go back to my first World Cup in New Plymouth, it was a bit of a shocker, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, I was out of the water last, which, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best swimmer, but I would definitely not say I was the worst. And just from the racing in the Commonwealth, I knew how different I had to approach the start. And then that translated in the Commonwealth and also in Huatulco, and I was ninth out the water. So, yeah, I think it's all been a learning curve, and each race I'm still learning more and more, and like every race is different. So yeah, it was good to see it translate over.
What's the confidence level like in yourself now?
It's good. I mean, you can't ever really be overconfident because it's not like it's a track race or a swim race where it's basically your training. I mean, in triathlon, your training is definitely translated over, but the race can be so situational. One small little thing can change. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong in a race or go right. So, I mean, I'm doing everything I can to prepare, but each race is different, so you just have to be prepared for that on the day.
If selected to go to Colombia for the CAC Games, what will be your ambition for that? What will you be, because it's against people in your region, so what are you going to accomplish there?
I mean, it's actually interesting. I'm going to Brazil this weekend to race, and I will be racing against most of those if I go to Colombia. It's similar region because where I'm going is the Pan American Championships, so there'll be everyone who I will be racing against. And in Mexico, a vast majority of the field was from the Americas region, so it'll be good to race in Brazil and see where I end up, and then make a judgment call on kind of where I'll be at CAC. But yeah.
Now, growing up, when did you really decide triathlon was going to be your sport?
I think just the opportunities that I've been given. I mean, with the Youth Olympics, that was crazy. And then it was kind of a turning point when I went to university, and I changed coaches to Ian O'Brien, part of Origin Performance, and he's based out of Colorado as well. So when I got, all of these opportunities that like allowed me to be the best that I can be and to help me along the way, I think that's kind of, it helps. Like, I always had a dream of becoming a triathlete, but it's never just possible. You need all of the resources and the help that you can get, and I've just been fortunate enough from Bermuda and from all of my peers and family to help me along the way.
Are you surprised? Were you surprised by your performance in Mexico?
I wouldn't say surprised. I mean, I was swimming really well at Colorado. I was swimming with a master's group, and I mean, it was cool coming out the water and being like, oh my gosh, like I'm like right in the mix of it.
Do you stop for a minute and think about that, or you just keep going?
No, I was just like, keep going. And then it wasn't the ideal race because we all came together on the bike, so it was like 30 of us, which that's never ideal when I know that running. I'd rather have a bit of a leeway. But I mean, I still ran a low 19, which isn't close to a PB. Well, it's not far from a PB, but it's definitely not a personal best. But it was still a pretty good time considering the conditions, and I just, whenever I talk to my coach, it's each little chip away at a time, each race. I'm only 20, and considering where I came from my run, it's still,
now,
a process.
What is the temperature supposed to be like in Brazil this weekend?
It's not actually too bad. I mean, we're in Brasilia, so it's central. I mean, it said it's supposed to be like 70s and not that humid, so I would say pretty perfect racing conditions, because like in Mexico, oh my gosh, it was like 30 degrees outside, and then the water was also 30. It was like the water was a bath. And the run, it was just impossible to cool yourself down enough. And I mean, you kind of have to acclimatize to that. And being in Colorado was dry compared to the humidity in Mexico. But I think I handled the conditions well enough.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, good luck. We'll be in touch with you this weekend.
Thank you.
And hopefully see you in Colombia.
Yeah. Thanks.
Jay, for Erica, it's all about confidence. And I think right now she's in a good space, feeling good about herself. As she said, it's a lot of pressure on her because everybody, when they see the BER on her chest, starts thinking, oh, Duffy.
Yes.
You know, so I think she's working her way through that and just not trying to get herself too high of expectations. Just stay within herself. So I want to wish her well.
Yeah, and the flip side of that, she gets some
airtime.
because of Duffy.
Yeah, sure.
No, I really, we talk about it all the time, Earl. To get to that world-class athlete, as we saw in Florida, Duffy, Thailand, the rest of you, Del Rey, you got to get off the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you've got the resources, you've got the support, you got to go. Mm-hmm. You have to go.
Yeah. Staying here is stagnant.
Staying here is stagnant. Staying here competing week after week, Clearwater and in town, and it's not going to do it.
No.
Or once you get to that, okay, I'm the top triathlete here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean? So she's starting to make, make a name for herself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, Flora's opened the door.
Yes.
But it's her time now to make a name for herself. Mm-hmm. And the more and more she gets around to other countries, she's going to pick up some of Flora's fans.
Yes.
Who will now take notice.
Sure. Without a doubt.
And she's a great person. So it's going to be easy for her regarding that. The competition, it's competition.
Yeah. Gotta face it.
That's
what you signed up for. Dawn Fox, 4 years ago, qualified a horse in Bermuda for the CAC Games for the sport of dressage. Mm-hmm. This year, she's qualified 2 horses. Now, she couldn't go due to finances and late and all that, but this year, she's looking to go 2 horses. Got a chance to speak with Dawn about the accomplishment and where does this leave us as far as competing in the CAC Games. Dawn Fox, 4 years ago, it was 1 horse. Yep. 4 years later, it's now 2. You've been able to qualify a 2nd horse for the CAC Games. Remarkable accomplishment, but take us through how 4 years ago it was with the first horse and now you've got a 2nd one in.
Well, the first horse, as you say, I qualified 4 years ago, so to get him ready for this competition, for this time, was just a matter of keeping him fit and healthy. For the second horse, it was a little bit of a different process because we had to get him up to that level, and that was a little bit of a challenge, but he rose to the occasion, and yeah, I'm really thrilled to have 2 horses qualified.
As the national dressage coach, it must be it just warming your heart that you can do this in Bermuda, a remarkable accomplishment.
Absolutely. It just goes to show how much Bermuda has to offer. And we are extremely excited that she was able to do 2 horses this time, not just 1. And that really shows the international community that we're not just the one-hit wonder, that we have a really good, solid program going on here in Bermuda. And it's just thrilling that now we can put out there to Bermudians that you can really reach for the stars here on the island. And I just want everybody to raise their standards a little bit and to know that things are really possible here in Bermuda. And so we're very excited.
Dawn, 1 horse working together with you is challenging. Yeah. But now you've got to do 2 horses. Yeah. Getting that 2nd horse up to speed and still being able to work with the first horse. How difficult is it for you, the rider, to ensure that both horses meet the expectation?
Well, I've been working with both horses since they were 5 years old, and they're now 16 years old. And, as they say, it takes a village. There's a lot of things that go into getting horses to this level. So I have Angela helping me with training. I have good vets on hand, a good farrier. There's all kinds of things. They get a dentist that comes to see them. They get chiropractic and acupuncture. So we really, do treat them like the athletes that they are.
Angela, does this put more pressure on you as a coach to try and get other people up to scratch where Dawn has gotten herself and the horses?
I wouldn't say pressure, but now I'm even more motivated because when you interviewed me about 2 years ago for stepping into this national coach position, I clearly remember telling you that one of my goals was to be bringing qualifiers here to the island. And here we are. We brought another one here this year and we were able to qualify 2 horses. So I'm even more excited, more motivated, and ready to continue on. And I will have to say that I already see 2 prospective horses that that are right behind these two that Dawn qualified. And if they can keep going on the track that they're going on, then they will be very legitimate contenders. And that's extremely exciting. And also, too, I see our juniors. We're starting to get some more committed juniors. And I have 3 in particular that are coming through the ranks, and I'm super excited about them, and I want them to know that this can really be a part of their future.
What's next for Dawn Fox and these 2 horses?
Well, they're having a little break over the summer. They're doing Ashley's home to ride Lantango, so he's doing a little bit of jumping. Lancelot's doing a little bit of jumping to have a change of scenery, and it's good for them. You know, it keeps the mind fresh. It's good for the body to use it in a different way.
All right, well, thank you. Congratulations. And we look forward to more in the near future.
Great.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Now, Dawn, we want to wish you well. All the best in the coming months, years. Working with a horse is not an easy thing.
I've been working with you for how long?
I'm a donkey.
That's what he said.
It's a little different.
You know what he said. You know I'm a zebra. So.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, we're going to turn our attention to league cricket. This coming weekend, we'll see St. George's Cricket Club hosting Bailey's Bay. We all know Bailey's Bay are in a rut. We saw this at the start of last season, but they were able to manage to pull themselves out of it. Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel this time around? Because it's going on, it's dragging on.
Well, you got to think of the players that they have lost.
Yes.
And the very important players that they have
Right.
lost.
Right.
Their batting's invisible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their batting has been invisible.
Yeah.
And to lose 2 of your top order batsmen didn't help.
No.
Malachi Jones, I believe it was led the league last year in runs. With 400 odd runs,
Yeah.
almost 500 runs.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah. So those runs are going.
Those runs are going. Trey Menders, I believe, had 200, almost 300. Those runs. So between the two, close to 700 runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember, they struggled.
Yeah. And they struggled. Yes.
So,
With those runs.
With those runs.
Yeah.
So
It makes it really difficult.
So you take that away from that, it's going to make it really difficult. And I don't see who's on form.
Yeah.
Who's on form.
They're not. I mean, the bowling has been consistent, but they just haven't been able to make the runs required.
The bowling, and to be honest, the bowling is not as good as it used to be.
No.
Because once again, you're losing Malachi Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek Bregman's having Derek Bregman season.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
does what he does.
Yes.
Kyle Hutzel hasn't taken as many wickets
Yeah.
as he's done in the last 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Zico is looking pretty good.
Right.
But you see Danico Hollis bowling more
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. Well, a few years ago, he was bowling more
It
as
was,
well.
but remember, they mixed it up with Carmichael
Right.
and also Mills.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But those two players,
Now, I believe he'll be missing on Sunday.
right?
Because I believe he gets married on Saturday.
Okay, well, I'll see.
I'm talking about Nico Hollis.
Okay, so he'll be missing. So that's going to be news to me. So you can see I'm totally
Advantage St. George's?
I'm totally shocked. And to go back, we like to always bring up cup match around these times. Between these two teams, you're probably looking about 5 players, 6 players.
Between the two teams, yeah.
With 6 players.
Yeah.
So, and realistically, who's on form?
No one really.
Between the two teams. So, I mean,
Georgia hasn't played in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Treadwell Gibbons.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with Treddy.
So
you never know what you're gonna get with Tamiko. Good week, bad week, or bad 2 weeks, and then so you never know what
the
you're gonna
Baskin brothers.
You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah,
Mackay's.
He'll be consistent. That's the thing. He'll get you 20 runs.
But that's what I'm saying. It's 20 runs.
Yeah.
It's
but that's his for him. That's his consistency.
It's not 60 runs.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the player coach has had to play a couple of games.
Yeah.
Ryan's
he's been out. He's been injured. He's been out injured the last, I believe, 3 weeks.
So, it's and Bay once again. It's gonna be interesting because I mentioned his name last show. Sinclair Smith, Tamika Wilson.
Yeah,
they're gonna probably be trying to fight
for a spot.
And then not excluding Akira Baskin.
Yeah.
So this is the time you're gonna probably have most of your selectors from St. George's watching this game particularly because they got interest. I'm not sure if Neil Gibbons is still a selector down St. George's.
I don't know,
but I know he's the coach of Bailey's Bays.
Do you think he might have to suit up?
I won't be surprised. No, the Bears got some youngsters down there. But once again, the youngsters, and we've always said this with the youngsters, you just never know.
Right.
On the day they could come good, on the day.
Yeah.
So, the next game is St. David's and Somerset.
Another team in trouble. Somerset.
Yeah.
Just come up, struggled to get any points, and then last weekend refusing to play the match for St. George due to no umpires. I don't know. We don't know what the outcome will be.
Outcome that's going to be.
But that kind of hinders you even more unless you can say, unless both teams agree, look, let's not play, and we'll try to find a date down the road. You got to play. You literally have to play.
Yeah, and Somerset's got some players that need to find some form.
Yeah.
If they want to knock on the door, I mentioned last show that there's not going to be too many spaces available.
Right.
But, club teams, especially St. George's and Somerset, they want to take a few of their club players. So this is against that's my point. Against some opposition like St. David's, it's going to be a good test.
Yeah.
And also, let's think about St. David's. They're coming off their first defeat.
Yeah. I think they'll be more stable this week.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they're playing at home. Guys hate to lose. And I think they will be a little more organized and stable.
And let's think about it. They haven't lost many games in the last 2 years.
No, they lost one last year when they won the league, and they lost one this season so far. So, and the year before that, I believe they lost 2.
Yeah.
So, in 4 years, you're talking 4 games.
Yeah. So, you expect them to bounce back, but we saw their batting lineup, which
we're all over the place. Yeah.
So, it's gonna be interesting what happens with that. Do they take Somerset?
I doubt if they will, because you said it, they're coming off a loss. They cannot take Somerset lightly. If they want to defend their title, they have to stay within reach of Southampton Rangers.
Somerset still has match winners.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, still has match
so they need the
winners.
points now.
Right.
The run rate is good, but they need the points now and hope Rangers slip up.
Yeah, they hope Rangers slip
Yeah.
up. And that's going to be the main thing. They're going to be looking for maximum points along with the win.
Right.
And hopefully they can probably get a little closer. So it's going to be quite interesting for that match. The match after that is Stars and Rangers.
Yeah.
Very young squad against a veteran squad. It should be light work.
One thing I would say, as bad as Stars have been playing all year, they would come into this game feeling good about themselves, having Bay in the trouble that they had them in.
Of course. But I'll tell you, with Western Stars, the bowling hasn't been the problem.
No, it's the batting, getting the runs required.
It's the runs required. When they have to rely on Jacon Edness to get a half century. Justin Robinson to get a half century.
And that's just to make 100.
Just to make 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Brian Hole has been a huge miss.
Batting and bowling.
Batting and bowling. Next game.
First division.
First division.
Willicott's taking on Somerset Bridge.
Well, they should have field.
No. Willicott's up Somerset. Yeah.
Okay, well, they used to should have.
Yeah.
Put it this way, family. Definitely family. But you would expect to be a close game. If Bridge gets huge contributions from, and you know where I'm going, because they have been coming good the last few weeks. Noah Woods and Donnie Charles, who had a great week.
Yeah. Jamie Rayner's been consistent.
And if you and I want to say I looked at Jamie Rayner's stats over the weekend. He built 4 overs and 6 overs over the lead.
7 wickets.
7 wickets. 7, 8 wickets in a 10 over spell.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, but Willicott's
have the same in there. And you start talking about Deontay Darrell.
And you just said it. That's
Casey James,
yeah.
who hasn't. I thought he would have had a better season.
You know what? He's been probably a disappointing player so far this season.
After what he was able to do on tour.
And when I say disappointing, not that it's been bad. My expectations for him.
And I think a lot of people. He probably had the same thing.
Yeah.
He probably felt, I'm coming off this tour. I'm feeling good about myself.
And not even so much because the tour he was okay. It was the pre-tour,
right? But I'm saying, but the
hill setup,
yeah.
Come from the hill setup.
Yeah.
We was definitely looking, because if you remember correctly, we saw those main guys like Dion and those guys. Once they touched back, they put up numbers.
Right. Change gears.
They put up numbers on it.
Freeler had those numbers.
Well, a little bit different.
Wow, yeah.
But when they touch back, they put up numbers. But no, crazy. It's going to be interesting because he's one of those players that can knock on the door of Somerset.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's time now. He's going to have to put his foot to accelerate it now.
He's going to have to accelerate it because you got less. Well, you got to basically.
If he can put together a few good knocks and a couple of games with taking some wickets, then the shout becomes louder.
I'm going to tell you, he will have an inside edge.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've spoke about it before with the 2 clubs. Even though Crazy is playing for, but he's
a Somerset boy.
He's playing for Somerset.
Yeah.
So he would have the inside edge compared to another player. Now they're going to tell us no. All clubs tell us no.
Nah.
But we know.
Yeah.
There is. He would have inside edge. So, but it's going to be now, like you said, now is the time.
Yeah.
And once again, you look at it like that. Bridge is like you need to. This is where you need to. So you need to take advantage. And this is probably the day you say, "Hey, Cap, let me get up that order. Let me get up there. You know,
put your head down.
Let me get that ball. You know, just gotta raise his hand. Next game.
It ain't come down yet. It ain't coming down. Devin Chirac against PAC.
What players show up?
That's not the problem. You better bring a ball.
Well, what players show up?
Yeah. It's been a struggle for both teams. This season.
Both teams. Yeah. And Devin Chirac, they lost a few players this year. And there was already, you know,
a hurting team.
But I do have something to say. Luffy, you got to make at least more than 10 runs.
His 10 contributes to the total, man.
I haven't seen 10 yet.
Luffy, I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Depo, you're good for about 40.
40?
Yeah.
Minutes?
I was in there for I want 40. But it's going to get you 40.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Depp, you need to come. I haven't seen no. Come on, Depp.
School's out next week, man. He'll be all right.
Last week.
He can spend more time in.
Everybody's camping.
Yeah, he can spend more time in the nets. Final match, Warwick Flats obviously the edge would have to go to Ward. I mean, Flats.
I was wondering.
Sorry, Flats.
Very similar to the scenario you mentioned with St. David's and Somerset.
Mm-hmm.
Flats not only they need to win, but collect the most points.
Yeah.
They can.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Because Cleveland's on a bye.
Mm-hmm. There's a chance to catch. Because they lost one game last weekend.
Exactly.
So Cleveland would have extended that lead.
Exactly. So this is the time. And pretty much, you're looking for the playoff. Somebody's going to be looking for that playoff spot.
Yeah.
I think they're...
It'll be interesting to see who they play in that playoff spot, though.
Well, you're looking at Somerset and...
Somerset Bay and Stars.
Bay's not going to drop that far, man. I can't see that, man.
If they lose this weekend and Stars win.
I don't see Stars.
But that scenario.
That's scenario.
Who knows? Gennaro might not walk off the field.
Well, that's because it's probably knee can't. That's right. That's injury. Gennaro's knees are not 20-year-old knees.
Yeah.
Come get me.
Yeah, it's all good, though. It's all good.
So, no, it's going to be... And you're looking at Flats. I wonder how long can they keep this form. They don't play into the second round, I believe. The second round of the Eastern County, which would be 2 weeks after Cup match. So you're basically talking 2 months from now.
Right.
2 months from now. So that's a little time away.
Yeah. But they're still working on some kinks because the batting is good 1 through 4.
Yes.
It's that drop off. You see single digits.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
So I haven't seen any real runs from it. Any prayer you can give me because you've seen a couple of the games. Van Thunder?
Chris, yes. Yeah, he's been struggling. Usually he's a standout, but you see Reggie has been taking most of the strike, him and Dejon Carey. Mm-hmm. Those two have been taking it on. Chris will get 20s, but not those big scores you usually see from him. So I guess it's one of those things where if he comes good as well, and then you can get some consistency 6 through 8, then I think that will be a balanced Flats team as opposed to what you're saying.
Question for you, because this is normally around the time that we start to see the inclusion of Regino Smith.
Yes. I saw him back a few weeks ago, around May 24th, but I haven't seen him included in. I think he had to go back to school.
Right.
So this would be around the time you'll start seeing him back.
Right.
And if he can get himself going, I think he only adds to what Flats are looking for.
Remember, I believe he was reserve last year for Cup match.
Mm-hmm.
So he will at least want to get back to
that level.
Yeah. But he's going to have some work to do.
Yeah, definitely.
But even we talked about Somerset, this could be an opening for his gloves.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's solidified.
Right.
Well, I believe it probably all depends on what
Jacon
does.
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, they will feel they're in good shape in that regard because you have Ricardo doing so well.
We talked about it too.
You know what I mean? And if Regina, like you said, if Regina could get herself back to that level, then there's a battle for that position.
And I hate to say this here, still got Chris Douglas.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're going to want him to wicket keep as long as he would do.
Do you think it would really makes a difference?
Well, for him, no. For him, no.
You think that really make a difference?
No, not at all.
Anybody else, I can see your concerns, buddy.
Yeah.
But anybody else? Okay, so I would have that concern for Tamika Wilson.
Right. Well, not really. You know why? Because that's what Tamika does all the time.
No, but what I'm saying, it's not 2 days though.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. But the consistency of him keeping and then opening is something normal.
Yeah, it's definitely normal.
For someone like Chris.
But Chris ain't normal.
But then, no, he's not.
So all that just goes on through.
But Chris is a different beast, if you want to say, because he can bowl, he can field, he can keep wicket.
You know what we just need to say, and we never say it. Chris is fit.
Yeah, that too.
Chris is fit.
Yeah.
And I don't think we just overlook it because we're just accustomed to always seeing him fit.
Doing whatever.
And Chris always seems to have energy that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Whether it's for extra stuff or whatever.
Definitely.
It could be that hour in the afternoon when the field is dead. Chris is the one who's got all the energy.
Yeah. He'll run from long leg or back with a square up to the builder to tell him something and run back. Just stay in the game.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, we're gonna keep an eye on the wicket keeping issues. All these.
We'll keep a closer eye to see if Regina is actually in action this weekend.
Yes.
And then that would actually start even more of a conversation on that position.
Now our last game, I guess we need to talk about it.
That is the last game.
No, it's not.
Walking Flats. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes. History in the making.
History in the making.
The dogs are tough. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, they're confident. They are definitely confident.
Yeah.
They are confident.
They're taking on the mighty former Red Devils.
Rams.
Now they're the Rams. They're the former Red Devils, now Rams.
It's going to be interesting because they could obtain the services of Terran Frey
and Pierre Smith.
Mm-hmm. I was even, and I wanted to probably reach out to Ira Romaine. Because in the past he had played for Bay Bay, but I believe this year he had signed up for Tough Dogs, but now he's played a game for Bay.
Right.
So that would eliminate him from playing for Tough Dogs, wouldn't it?
Yes.
But make him eligible to play for
North Village.
I think. I'm just...
the scenarios
a little...
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at it, look at the form Terran Frey is in. I mean... And Tough Dogs have some crafty players.
But, where's the game to?
Devonshire.
And I'm going to say this, that's what helps Tough Dogs this year.
Yeah.
If it was a Western Stars, I probably...
A little more space.
I still wouldn't give it to North Village at the time.
Yeah.
But,
Griff.
Yeah. It's going to
pitch the ball up, Griff.
It's going to be interesting because, like you said, crafty. Just call it what it is. Veterans.
Yeah.
Veterans, and they know how to play. And I just take, for instance, the last out of the last Central County game when Arnold Mendes ran and can't remember who the batsman was out off the long leg boundary or fine leg boundary.
Yeah.
He said he heard the guy says going for two. And he said, "Oh, on me," and put the ball right over the net.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the ball hit the stumps. So it looked like the guy was safe, but actually he didn't ground his bat.
Right.
And we all know. But what do you expect from a low order batsman too? So some of those
inexperience.
Inexperience. Yeah. So, but in saying that, that's what won the game for him. But you have that, the Cordays, Ray, Manis, Azim, former cup match player, and Bermuda national player.
Yeah.
So they've got some guys.
That's stacked to Dak, mate.
And also Dak Bregman.
Yeah. Stacked to Dak. And Jordan De Silva. Stacked to Dak.
So they're going to play just to lift the trophy.
That's right. So good luck to both teams. But my edge is going to tough dogs.
And I'm just going to say, remember they are the cup holders.
Holders, yes, they are.
Because they do have the cup.
Yes.
As we speak.
Yes.
So they'll be looking to finish the year off. But no, Philly should be interesting to see, like I said, who comes in.
Well, who they pick, it'll be very interesting, yeah. But we're going to finish today's show with the announcement. Obviously, Digicel are bringing in Usain Bolt. He will be at the National Sports Center next week, Tuesday, and also be at Digicel signing autographs and taking pictures. We have a press conference set up with him as well, so we'll get an opportunity to see what life is like after his retirement from track and field. But now you see him playing football.
Yeah.
Should have played cricket.
Well, back problems. Back.
That's what it is?
Back.
Oh, okay.
Back.
And you don't think 90 minutes of football?
And he like to train.
You know how to train? Coming in off of 10 paces, mate. Ghana style.
Well, you know what? It's probably be a reason why he didn't play cricket.
Yeah.
So let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
We don't have no video footage.
But we do have some footage of him building out Chris Gayle.
Chris Gayle.
Yeah,
in that match.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
So no, I'll be tuned in.
Yeah. Should be a good day.
Should be a good day.
Yeah. Well, folks, have a great evening from the Digicel Sports Show.